advantage of such amounts of over $3 billion being invested in the crypto market, it's very possible we should be seeing more bullishness, bullish continuations, because the trend is still very much bullish. Okay, to our 108k, okay, 108k to the upside.
Back, guys, at my FX right here, the prophetic analyst. So welcome to our weekly market focus for the 26th to the 30th of May, which is also the last month or the last week of the month of May. So without further ado, let's dive into the business of the day. So just like you guys can see on BTC for last week, price was somewhere around here, in which we gave you guys the bullish and bearish scenarios, but price later on went for the bullish scenarios, which we actually anticipated for that. Why is this so? Because a lot of people has been a lot of banks and a lot of body, just like I told you guys last week, has invested over $5 billion into the crypto market. So this is only logical enough with the fundamentals alongside that. We should be seeing some utmost higher highs being created and being broken and more to be created too. Okay, so which was what we had on BTC for last week. So we had some nice trades in which we took like 1, 2, and currently on some trades here at the upside. So BTC was actually bullish, and we were able to make some trades, calls in which I'm going to add it somewhere around in this video for you guys to see. So moving forward for today, the current market way price actually is, we are seeing some bullish continuations. Price is still creating series of highs, lows, a higher high, a higher low. So we are expecting price to create another new higher high, and most likely we should be seeing price go to 15,000, okay, $15,000 for a Bitcoin. So we are looking for price more continuations, and this is another trade in which we are currently on BTCs to the upside. So we should be seeing a new higher high being created on Bitcoin on a long run. So we are still very much bullish. Okay, we would be only looking for bearish sides only when price is able to clear the 5,000, okay, these zones of the 1,400, okay, all the way to the downside. So that's the only time in which we'll be looking for the bearishness. Okay, but for now we are still very much bullish, and we are swinging this all the way to most likely seeing a new all-time high created, which our TP there is about 112k. okay, so and if that surpasses today, we should be seeing price getting to 15k. So I've been predicting BTC into precisions since last year, from the bearishness to the bullishness and its continuation. So that's it for BTC. Up next is gold.
So just like from where price currently is, okay, we can take a very good trade, nice trade, like so, just like I said the last time. So we can be targeting these first areas as our TP1 stop loss just below this body candle close, or you can even go to be on the safer side. You can even go as deep as these weeks. Okay, just all what you just need to do is reduce your risks. Okay, so I'm going to reduce this and extend this other side, because that's the main thing. So our next TP should be all the way up there, which is the 3,355 ounce.
So for gold for last week, okay, we had some trades here which I told you guys, just like you can see on the video which I spoke about. You can put your entries here, put your stop loss, which is still the same zones that we're having here, your TP1 and your TP2. We can see all these trades being smashed, and just that price did not mitigate this one. Okay, so we could not have we were not able to take that trade because price did not mitigate that. We wanted price to come back for more like a more deeper pullback spot. Sometimes price has to do its thing. So we are still very much bullish. Okay, the trend is bullish, but let's look at how the weekly time frame actually closed. Okay, All right, so gold is actually very consolidating, okay, as we look. So we still have the high possibilities that we may see gold go back to 34.98 ounce all the way back to the upsides there. So let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so where is our next possible areas in which we should be looking out for trade calls? So what I'm going to do, all right, sorry about that, I'm going to extend these zones like so. I'm going to extend that zones like so, and yeah, and I'll extend these zones like so too. So easy busy, no gimmicks. All what you just have to do is wait for price to either to give us price will most likely give us a pullback here. Okay, if you have pullbacks into these zones, you can take your buy continuations to the upside, or if you have a break, retest, and a push continuations to 3432 ounce all the way to the upside. So those are the two areas that we are looking for bullishness. But if price clears these lows, okay, these areas, then we should be going bearish from here. All right, mind you, the fundamentals too may be backing this. So just like I always say, do well to mark these levels on your phone, your PC, or your trading device. Okay, looking forward for price to play out just as predicted. And as you guys can see, for last week you had over 100 to 99% win rate on our trade calls. Our trade calls were into precision. So you can only get this kind of trade calls if you are trading with us or if you are watching our videos to the end. So that's why it's always important to watch our videos to the end, and not just watching these videos. You join our free Telegram community, because on the free Telegram community I had to resend these projections of the actual trend on most of these space, in which a lot of you were able to use it to make money for themselves, and that's what gives me the greatest joy. So moving forward, up next is Euro USD.
Okay, so to be on the safer side, price has to clear these trend lines, a retest, break, and a continuations to our first levels, which is the 1.139, or we can go as deep as our 1.148.
For Euro USD, we can see last week actually closed super bullish. Okay, we had that bullish candle there, close. We are on a weekly time frame. So let's go to our hourly time frame to look for the best possible areas in which we can take our trades. And also for last week, we had some nice trades in which we took here 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, most of these trades I call them live on the free Telegram community, which I'm going to add them somewhere around in this video. And just like I told you guys, and we had to use market structures to make these entry confirmations, and we had some nice win rates. Just like I told you guys, a lot of money was being made last week with a good win rates too. Okay, even when price was about reversing on this same area, okay, on these areas, okay, I sent that projections on the general community, and a lot of people were also able to take those trade calls and make money from themselves. So these are the reasons in which you guys call me the prophetic analyst, because we predict 500 to 1,000 pips into the future. So moving forward for this week, okay, where is our best level targets? Okay, so I'm going to mark out some few zones. I'm going to mark out some few zones like so. I'm going to mark out some few zones like so for us on the bullish sides and the bearish sides. So we'll be working with these two minor zones like we can see here. So since you are very much bullish, okay, we could see price break here, retest, and a continuations to our next zone, which is our TB2. Okay, mind you, I still have like 2 trades here in which I'm holding my 10% on 2 trades here all the way to our TP2. So, okay, so price could break here, retest, and we should be looking price to go to 1.1488 to the upside, or we could also see price push into these levels, okay, come back like a pullback. This is a minor level on the minutes time frame, then continuations to the upside, okay, for Euro USD. And we can only go bearish if and only if price clears these lows. How is that possible? Break, retest, and a push continuations to the downsides. Then we should be targeting 1.1193. Then we can go as deep as 1.1130 to the downsides. But for me, I would favor the upsides. Okay, Up next is GBP USD.
Okay, so for the bullish side, price has to clear these areas, retest, and we should be seeing a massive push back to the upsides of the 1.34467 to the upsides. Okay, then we can go as far as a 1.3550 round number.
So
okay,
for GBP USD, just like you guys can see, GBP USD, we had some trend lines in which I drew from last week, so we can clearly see how price broke out of that trend line, retested there, and push continuations to the upside. So these are one of those reasons why I don't like plotting trend lines, because my areas of interest always align with trend lines, so they are most likely not really important or necessary to be plotting trend lines again. Okay, because it's going to make our chart clotted. Okay, but this was a trade we also took on GBP USD. Unfortunately, we were being wicked out. Like we say, you win some, you lose some. Price took us out there, and thereafter we can see how price went smashing above our target. Okay, so we are still seeing price very bullish. Okay, so how can we take advantage on the coming week? So I'm going to plot new zones like so. Okay, I'm going to plot new zones like so. So we could have a meantime pullback into here, then we could have continuations. Let's look left. Wow, there's a lot of empty space on that zone, guys. There's a lot of empty space. So if we have good pullbacks to these zones of 1.3448 thereabout, then we should be looking at price going to 1.3760. okay, that's if price continues bullish. Okay, we can only be bearish when price takes away these lows. Okay, let me take out this trend line, please, and breaks this trend line, retest, and we should be targeting 100% retracement level, which is down here. So I don't want to use that again, so which is down here, which is the 1316. okay, but if you may ask me, I would be favoring the upsides of things. So that's it on GBP USD. Up next is the DXY.
We can go as deep as our 98.75, then we can go as deep as 97.7.
okay, so for the DXY, like we can see, DXY was part of the reasons in which price were moving trendy this week, in which we also predicted all of this into precision. We sent this out on the free Telegram community before they even happened, which I'm going to add you somewhere around here. So we had price breaking, clearing these market structures to the downside. These market structures to the downside, you can still see that break and retest there, and we have our TP1. okay, and we still have our TP2 all the way down here. Okay, so we are still very much bearish, okay, from the look of things, but where price currently is seated now is a very strong support area. So I'm going to extend this like so. Right, okay, let me take that back. Let me use this. Let me plot a new zone there. We plot a new zones. Okay, so we could have a little bit pullback. Okay, we could have a buy to sell scenarios, okay, for price to get into our TP2. okay, buy to sell scenarios. Okay, and you can only buy for the bullishness, you can only buy if price clears these zones. Okay, the zones of the create a new higher high, retest there, then a continuations to 100.844. okay, that's the only time that you'll be looking for bullishness. But for now, stick to the bearish side of things because price is still bearish. Okay, until price proves us otherwise, then using our trading strategy and confirmations, we still know how we can maneuver this. Okay, so that'll be it for the DXY. Up next is USDCHF
and continues bearish, then it's easy busy for us. Okay, just wait for price to break here, retest this lower zone, and you should be targeting your 0.1182 all the way to the downside.
So USDCHF was bearish last week, thanks to our weekly market forecast and projection, signals are also being sent on the general community. So if you are not on a general community, please do well to join. I'm going to add it somewhere around in this video. We had a very nice trade there, a very nice 1:3 trade there, in which price smashed take profit, and we are still very much bearish. Okay, so as it stands, price is bearish, though price is just hit on a very strong resistance support area. Okay, a very strong support area. So what we should be seeing is price to, although we may have a little pullback, okay, but we should be seeing price break here, retest, and we should be targeting our 0.80479 areas. Okay, and looking left, you see there are a lot of imbalances here that could help price achieving that easily. So we are seeing, so this is why we say we predict 500 to 1,000 pips into the future. So all what you just need to do is mark these zones out, be patient enough for price to clear these lows, then we should be going seeing like 300 to 500 pips drop on USDCHF. Up next is USD. You should be looking for price to break here, retest, then target first level 1.385. Then we can go even deeper. So for USD card last week, this was also one of the trades in which we took. Price went well, okay, just as predicted. We wanted price to break this range. Okay, this is part of our range strategy in which we teach in our mentorship, which is part of the bonus topics which we teach in our mentorship, which is quite ongoing right now. So our range strategy is what we had used to make these entries of these zones. Okay, and as you can see, that was a nice 1:2 trade. Price went to TP1, and I had to swing all the way to the TP2, like you guys can see. Okay, so that TP2 there also matches with my trend line, which is coming all the way from the weekly time frame. There's a little trend line here coming from the weekly time frame and also rhymes with this support. Okay, so I had to close my 10% there. All right, so you don't have to be greedy. So let's look at the daily time frame to see how price looks. Okay, all right, so looking left, just like the other one. All right, we have a lot of imbalance left here, so it's going to be an easy busy drop for USD card if that happens. So let's see what we can do from the minute from the hourly time frame. So we may be having price pull back to 2 levels. All right, we may be having price pull back to 2 levels, though these levels might be a little bit big. Okay, so this is the first level, this is the second level, so could be having price give us a buy to sell scenarios. Okay, a buy to sell scenarios, and that sells is as low as this lows. But if you can find a meantime support, maybe somewhere around, let me just place a line there on this round figure of 356. Okay, somewhere around here. Okay, we could have price come here, or we could even see price retrace as deep as these zones of the 1.3840. okay, before going bearish to the downside. So I would actually be giving you guys bearish continuations. I won't be giving bullish because it's going to take a long while for the bullish side of things to occur. So let's just leave it at the bullish side of things for now and see how price plays out. So that's it for USD card. Last but not the least, USDJPY. So USDJPY were part of the A setups in which we took last week. Nice trades. Trend line coming all the way from the downsides, break, retest. A very nice chart pattern here, like you guys can see. You guys know I'm very big on chart patterns. I like trading chart patterns a lot, and this has been proven profitable for me and my mentees. Okay, so we had that nice sales, that break, retest, and other. This is just more than break and retest, guys. This is just more than break and retest, but we go in depth on these explanations on our mentorship or when we are hosting free live sessions. So that's why it's important to join our Telegram community. Okay, so this was the signal in which we sent, which I'm going to add somewhere around in this video. So we are still very much bearish on USDJPY, and price headed all the way to our TP1, which is a 142.422. okay, so how can we take trading possibilities or trading advantage to this on the coming week? I'm going to mark out this minor zone like so, and we have 2 zones. Okay, so we could be having could be having a meantime pullbacks, okay, a buy to sell scenarios, okay, a meantime pullback, a buy to sell scenarios, or we could see price just splash all the way to the downside where market opens, retest here, and continuations to the downsides. And if we look, this is our next level target. Our next level target is somewhere around the 140. Okay, so those are going to be our targets for Usdchf. Okay, so that's it for this week, guys. Always do well to smash that subscribe button, drop a comment on the comment section if you are new to this channel, and also do well to share our content, like and subscribe, and drop a comment. Let's know your thoughts too on the coming weeks, and let's also know how well our trading signals and weekly market forecast has been helpful to you. Okay, or if you're feeling what we are doing, drop some fire emojis, and always remember to plan your trades and trade your plan. See you guys on the inner circle. Cheers.